Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Damien. Finally made a channel name. Gonna go with blue collar this time, but today behind me we have a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a 4x4, I think it's a 4.7. But I fixed it up the other day. I know y'all didn't see that because I just started doing all this work, but it's got a front drive shaft. The U-joint was making some horrible noises, so I decided to take it down and put a U-joint and a CV-joint on it. It's got two different ones. They're not the same, but I'll take you into the shop in just a second to show you what we got going on. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to put the CV-joint and the U-joint on here, throw the drive shaft for the front back on there, and we're going to take all the door panels off, and we're going to fix some of those handles that always break in there, and that should be good enough. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so here's the front drive shaft that I was telling you guys about. I got the new U-joint on there. I know it's not the right thing. These were bradded, but when I tried bradding it myself, it would not stay on there correctly. So I MIG-tacked pieces on here to get the U-joint to stay, and it'll still move like it's supposed to, real free and everything. So the new U-joint's already on there. I didn't show you guys that. I did it a few weeks ago. But this is the CV-joint, and they're not the same, but it goes up here. And if I'm correct, this should go to the transfer case, if I remember correctly. But I'll show you guys that in a little bit. I'm going to be putting this CV joint on here, and I'll let you know when I'm done. So, alright, so this CV joint, basically this drive shaft has some grooves here, and it's going to set right here in this hole, just like that. And there's a pin here that's going to keep this from sliding off right here on the end, just like that. We'll have to use our pliers to get those apart. You're going to have these on the inside to keep all the grease and stuff in. It goes in between this top and bottom piece. And you got all these bolts and these three little pieces that'll go around here like that. So this right here is just a clip. It keeps that rubber on there. When you get it on the shaft, you'll crimp it down, and it'll keep stuff from coming in here like this old one that I broke off already. So I'm going to have to take that off before I slide the new one on there. I'll show you what this looks like in just a second on the inside. It's just a big bearing that pivots in a bunch of different ways. Alright, here's the CV joint when it's all apart. You have the big ball bearings and stuff in here, and it's supposed to turn and pivot in all sorts of different ways. It's hard to show with one hand, but basically it'll pivot this way to flex the drive shaft, and it's not so hard if you put a lift on it, as hard as it would be on a U-joint. And it'll move in a bunch of different areas compared to this one. It's better, but I don't really care for them. Anyways, I'm gonna put this grease in here, and then put this stuff back together, and I'll try my best to show you, but I don't have a tripod, so I can't do it with one hand and get everything done while showing y'all. So if anything, I'll tell you how to do it when I get put together. Alright, take this piece off here. There's supposed to be a specific tool for it. I'm just going to use some pliers and kind of break it off of there, because I got another one right here. And once I get this off here, this should just slide this rubber piece off. It's not a big deal. If you break it, like I said, you guys should have a new one. I bought this stuff off of Amazon, I think it was, and it was, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks, something like that. Depends on shipping and stuff like that. But basically, get this off here real quick and slide it on there. I'll have to take this cap back off. I set it all in there and put the grease in it. But I'll take this cap back off, slide it on, put this pin in here, put the cap back on. These are supposed to press down. Then you can take these bolts out. I just got it sitting in there loosely right now. I put some grease around these these little splines or whatever, and once I slide it back in there, get it all pressed down, I'll get ready to go put it back in the Jeep, and then we'll see about getting those door panels started and drive it around a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I do not do stuff properly. Like this right here should not be done this way, but I do it to get by. You know what I mean? This isn't gonna be one of those channels that everything's gonna be perfect. You know, I'm just gonna be doing it to get this stuff done and get it back on the road. So if it breaks, I'll fix it, but Other than that, it should be new, and it's not put in there perfect, but it's good enough. So, alright, I got the CV joint on there. Bad news is, couldn't get that metal piece to work. That's because I don't have the right tool, so I just use this zip tie right here, but it'll work now. Basically, that's just to hold in the grease from slinging out. It pivots like it's supposed to and everything. This is what I was talking about, how it'll pivot up and down and then side to side while the car is moving and flexing and stuff. These are going to pull down when I go to put it in. It'll just cinch up. But there's grease in there, it's packed and everything, and everything's the way it should. So I'm going to be throwing this back in just a second. And I got these door panel parts right here. Basically, I'm looking at changing are these. These always break. They're the handles, but there's this plastic piece behind them. This plastic piece always breaks, cracks real bad. And the handle will just dangle after it'll crack. But I got passenger, driver, all 4 doors, so I'm going to be replacing those in a little bit. Show you how I'm going to fix them. I wouldn't say it's the right way, like I said, but it's going to be done. So we'll figure that out, and we'll put that back in there and give her hell, you know. Alright. This might be hard to see, but I got it. There's a CV joint. Way down there is that U-joint. What I wanted to tell you was, this cross member that holds the transmission and the transfer case, you're going to have to drop it to get this drive shaft down and out of the way. You probably could leave this up, and it'd probably be a lot harder, but if you drop this down a little bit, you don't got to take it all the way off, but put a jack under it, because if you don't, it'll drop. Anyways, pull this down, drive shaft should come out fine. You put it all back up, it should look like that. We're going to test drive in a minute, make sure that noise went away, but it's done. And this Jeep, it's not a very old one, but in a minute, when I take this down, it should be pretty good. So, not making any clanks or anything. Alright, so here's the deal. The other day I was working on this Jeep. Phone died. Bad news. Good news. Got everything done. Everything door panel wise. All these handles here on every single door. They're done. Bad news is you didn't get to see it. One of those things I just can't go back and do, but I can tell you what I did. Basically, behind this door panel here, there's little plastic pieces all the way around it that hold it in there. And I did the wrong thing and ran some screws through it because I couldn't find the plastic pieces. But they all work. Every single door works great. I cleaned the car out, as you can tell, kinda. Anyways, cleaned it out, and it's good to go now. But, to top it off with some more good news, I got a tripod from my phone. So that means when I do this stuff later on, you guys will be able to see it more. Now, I know this video isn't going to be very informative because my phone died and I can't video it while I'm doing it, but hopefully the next few, like this trailer that I'm going to be doing, I got to weld some fenders back on it. You should be able to see that, maybe, if I record it. But anyways, just to leave y'all with a good note, Jeep's done. Took it on a drive. It performed wonderfully. The spots that I welded on there, or tack welded, didn't explode. And it handles really good. It's a great Jeep. Somebody's going to like it in the future, but for now, that's all I got. And I thank y'all. Hopefully these next few videos that I put out of a few other cars or what I go look at and such, you'll be able to see more. So, thank y'all for watching. See you later.